Barney. I'm gonna get that dog some green beans. I'll be right back in just a moment. Well, actually, I'm taking the microphone with me so you can still hear me, but...
Hot Barney feeding footage.
Yeah, we gotta give Barney the beans because, you know, vegetables are important, even for animals. And also, it's really cute seeing a Chihuahua that wants to eat beans. All right, let's get these beans fed. Let's do it. Man, I always forget.
And so when you're not taking like note of the present moment or like, you know, self-aware, self-examination stuff, and you're just kind of on autopilot, what do you internalize, you know? I think here at TechnoPoverty, it's something we kind of think about, and I don't know, this is even like a character Jacob and I have kind of invented over the years. It's like this caricature of like the worst 12-year-old boy. Like,
yeah.
He's kind of an asshole, he's a misogynist, his dad takes, okay, can I even make that jump? His dad takes him to like all the R-rated movies on the weekends because his dad does not like his mom.
They're just the
He's just an internet edgelord.
Like a Cartman of sorts. And
this is why I bring up in the description to today's stream Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. He's sort of the 21st century version of Cormac McCarthy's The Kid, who is born into violence and illiterate.
Ooh, a great combination.
Yeah, it's right after the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo has been signed. The Americans are looking to settle the Southwest. They need men. They need manly men to go out there and
slaughter.
Just clear the territory, make it safe for the settlers, and just a really great book, honestly. It's a very, very horrific one. It is biblical, it is grim in its prose. But I don't know, I think it's talking about a sort of a naked state of birth for like the American like conqueror mindset that we still see. We see this like throughout the decades, just in various flavors. A big inspiration for Blood Meridian was Moby Dick, and Moby Dick kind of speaks in the same way to a depressed, melancholic laborer. Oh, what am I doing here? I came all this way for a key. I think this has been just an optional dead end I've been going over and over and over for this key over here. For that treasure chest I keep going for over there. At least the run back's not bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the better part.
But so I was just running that loop for that key, which is to that chest that I was opening over there. I think the actual way forward is higher up over here.
No, not bad.
Get caught up talking about books, and I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing in the game.
You gotta live in the moment. You gotta be where your feet are at.
It is interesting, though, how much I feel like I've noted this multiple times. I've been on autopilot with MAXIMO, or I've just kind of been pumping through levels while talking because of how clear the direction is. It kind of glides through. I honestly couldn't tell you too specifically about set pieces I've encountered in this game so far, except for the spinning ship.
Oh, yeah. You know, actually, now that you kind of say that, yeah. There are definitely pieces, I guess the tree pieces. But yeah, there really isn't too many things that are super small.
Yeah, see, I was supposed to jump up here.
Oh, well, at least you got the extra key. The key is very helpful.
In doing that rerun, I did get more death tokens.
That's good. I like the smoke that comes out. The numbers.
Yeah, the little bomb countdown.
Yeah, it's great. Very creative.
I do find it interesting that we started this game in Graveyard Land, and I cleared that, and then we went to Swampland. We cleared that last time, and we're now in Snowland. Because you know what else is like that? Dark Souls 3. So, in some ways,
that's a good point.
We're just playing Dark Souls 3.
Every game is a Dark Souls game, you know?
Well, the thing that's interesting to me is like, while I'm also describing Dark Souls 3, the structure of this is also very Super Mario Brothers 3 in the way that like, you go to a new world, there's a hub, you do levels.
Something about the 3.
Yeah. Also something about the language of video games. Like when I say this is like Super Mario Bros. 3, that's not to dismiss what isn't Super Mario Bros. 3 about it, because this is a very well put together PS2 game on a graphical fidelity level, of course.
Yeah.
It's just got that reliable, sturdy Super Mario Bros. 3 skeleton, which is a testament to how strong that game is.
Mm-hmm. If it works, don't fix it.
And that you can still see that skeleton in something like Dark Souls 3. Video game history. Historicize everything.
This bomb guy. I don't need him.
Cool, so when I freeze him, it appears it like diffuses the bomb stuff.
Oh, excellent. So we'll just stop it.
Something that was really hurting me last round was there's enemies that killing them in close proximity, they explode or kamikaze. That kept getting me. This is terrifying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this seems awful.
I just want to note the game feel. The speed at which Maximo does. Oh my god.
That was so slow.
No, yeah, the tension of control weight there, very terrifying.
Yeah. Just didn't feel too good. Man. That was a little fun scene moment. Crash Bandicoot. Nice.
What did he? Oh crap.
Oh, okay. He's just hanging out there. Harry, do you believe in Bigfoot? I don't think we ever got your answer on this. I've never seen this big guy. Giant wooded creature ape things.
I think they're extinct.
Ooh,
I worry
okay.
Bigfoot's dead is my thing. I do want to believe.
Gotcha, you're a Scully.
Oh, do I want to embrace the mystery? No, I don't. Last time I bought some expensive underwear, and that was...
Oh, yeah, that's right, though.
That was the beginning of just everything going downhill.
Isn't that life in America? You just make one bad purchase
Right.
and that just fucks you for the rest of the time.
I want one avocado toast, and everybody's writing articles about how bad that is.
Yeah. I think avocado toast tastes better than a mortgage. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, mankind fell when we took the hide of the last Bigfoot. Oof, somber but true.
The cry of the last Bigfoot. What? I think there's 2 left. Okay, I want to believe.
So they can procreate potentially, they just gotta maybe.
If we get them together.
We gotta matchmake these two.
Yeah, maybe
they're like pandas.
One's in Asia and one's in
Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got a rom-com romance these Bigfoots.
We've got a Yeti and we've got a skunk.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeti, another love story.
Oh man, you want to talk about some great cinema? We started watching the second movie, which I haven't seen the first one.
It may still be on Tubi. What is it, Yeti 2, Another Love Story? I'm forgetting the director off the top of my head, but it is an amazing piece of queer cinema.
Yeah, it was so very, very funny.
Also funny as hell. Don't let them tell you comedy was ever illegal or dead.
Comedy has never been illegal. But people don't have to laugh at your bad jokes.
The people that say that don't have
They're not funny.
they don't have the bravery to go full Comtown.
That's true. You just gotta be funny. You can get away with it if you're funny.
That's why Jesselnick is comedy's getting away with it.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. You gotta be good. But if you're bad, it's illegal.
I'm not liking the looks of this slide.
That's what that is? The slipper. Okay. Comedy's legal again, that's why Amber Ruffin got fired for criticizing MAGA.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we have inspectors of comedy for this stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, because obviously I don't know how to do any of this.
That's for a key.
Yeah, I can't be an inspector.
I don't need to do that.
You don't need that key.
I don't need that key.
That's fair. Man. Just be funny. People want to laugh. That's the worst part whenever you're bad at, like, whenever these people are complaining about these things. Like, people want to laugh and have a good time.
That's why people, like, yeah.
Like, they really want to give you the benefit.
Especially, like people who go to comedy open mics know they're at a comedy open. Like, comedy, like,
choice.
I've done a variety of open mics and been to a variety of open mics. I used to help run, like, a slam poetry organization in El Paso. Of the different varieties of open mic material, like, I would much rather go to, like, an amateur slam poet hour than, like, an amateur comedy hour. Like, I would rather go to a paid comedy hour than, like, an amateur comedy night. Like, I know that's gonna sound bad. I don't mean paid, like, in a corporate sense, but, like, I just don't like open mic comedian stuff.
That's
it's
where you
always
test
been just
materials
kind
out.
of like, it's not even the test material. It literally is like guys just go up to vent. Like they just really, like I get like we all hate our day job, buddy, but like you're just venting.
It's supposed to be funny.
I don't know, like this character you've made up as an aside to like yell at in your jokes that you're just mean to. I don't know, dude. Maybe talk with your coworker.
Everybody wants to be Sam Kinison of their own life.
Right. I think that speaks too to a way that like Americans are socialized to like hate their job, hate their work, hate their school. Like it's a horizontal direction of like what you blow up about. Like it's you get top down and that's class warfare. But like you can talk about hating your coworkers, hating your job, like.
Yeah, no problem.
Do dudes still joke about hating their wife? Is that still pretty commonly open? Like, it's part of like that like Protestant punch down, like just the darkest side of it.
Yeah, nobody needs it. Stand-up open mics are some of the most depressing places in America.
Right, because like like the slam poetry stuff, I know people will say it's cringe and stuff, but like there's a lot of like passionate kids just like wanting to voice their like personal experience or some sort of social issue, even if they're like posturing or it's like their first time in college, like learning to express themselves. Like, I saw people become better public speakers even if like they weren't becoming like published poets over this. Also, we did host like visiting like authors and stuff who did workshops in the schools. It was pretty fun.
That's pretty cool.
Shout out to Freehold Slam. I don't know if they're still around. Where am I going? I have to get on this ship somehow, I think.
Was that what that is? I couldn't tell. Have you watched The Joke Explainer?
No, what is that? Is that a YouTuber or a show?
I think it's a YouTuber.
Tell us more about this Joke Explainer.
Like, I feel like someone sent me a video of that ilk recently, but in the world of so many things, I'm scrolling through.
I purged my YouTube watch later, and it's already back up to 40 videos. I'm just like, I have a problem.
Oh yeah, man. I was like, I lost a YouTube account, got a new YouTube account. I'm like, well, I'm only going to follow accounts that I really, really enjoy. I'm up to over 130 like subscriptions. Like, what is this? Not all these people are still doing things either.
Okay, that sounds really awesome.
Ooh. Comedian who dissects bad RW comedy as the Joke Explainer.
Especially, I'm very curious about that, especially with the way the Daily Wire is falling apart right now. I feel like it's going to be very easy soon to just like talk about like a lot of their content without worrying about the copyright protection stuff. And I do really, I don't know, I want to take a closer look at the transphobia of lady ballers, and also beyond the transphobia of it, there's some very telling theater kid brain stuff going on in it that really says a lot about how much right-wing culture and American culture in general is just consumer culture. Like, so much of like doing politics is just talking about culture war stuff and dressing up like in these different affects. But
yeah. Lady Ball there was like a Jubilee video not too long ago, and a lot of people were taking caps from it because like all the reactionary people were dressing like lefties, and it's like, well, no, they're dressing like what like liberal hipsters look like in 2014, but it's literally like been 10 years. Like the culture's kind of like cycled through it, and also. But the news hasn't.
Right, and also so much, again, if so much of American culture is practicing like ignoring or not talking about politics, so much of it is detached from politics. Like, the signifiers mean nothing, and that is the postmodernism of it all. That doesn't mean nothing is real, don't believe in anything, it just means you have to like land man.
Because if you're an American, you have to like Landmen. It's the only way through.
Yeah, dude, Lady Ballers. What's also insanely bad about it is like, there's a lot insanely bad about it. One of the most dissonant things I find bad about it is like it's shot competently enough, but then just by insistence on like its fetishes and fixations, it has to bend itself into bad ways. I mean, the foundation of the thing's fucked considering they tried to start off as a documentary and couldn't find a case, and it became literally like, well, we better make up a guy, because that's so much of like...
That's exactly it.
That is why I find like right-wing and reactionary art so great, though, because like it is, not great, but so interesting is that the way it is a matter of, well, like in order for what you're saying to be true or real, like X, Y, and Z would have to
so
act,
many other things
like
also
reality would have to bend in some weird ways, and through like their popular like media, like they're given the power to be like, well, this is what reality is in my opinion, and it's like, you know, when it's very dissonant, it's very, you know, that's when you laugh, that's when it's crazy or weird or absurd.
Man, the Hunter Biden movie was honestly one of the funniest things I've ever watched.
Yeah, and I want it to be understood, like, there's more than just, like, ironically gawking at the bad thing.
For
like,
sure, because they definitely, like, have a stance. It's a dumb stance, but they certainly do have something they're trying to articulate, and, like, it is coming from somewhere.
I think, for instance, if you watch, what's the stupid, what does a woman do? Matt Walsh.
Oh, God.
The Am I Racist documentary, he has to cut so many of those interviews short or dance around the meat of them because so many of his interview subjects are either like funnier than him, so like he can't commit to any bit, like even if he was like pulling, he's not brave enough to commit to the bit, and then so like people are either funnier than him and outplaying him on the charisma side, or they're just telling him like, I don't want any of your bullshit, can you get out of my face, and he just looks fucking dumb.
And he just doesn't do any jokes. Like the whole joke is that like he's there.
Yeah, he even like stands up at the end of the movie and goes on a turfy ass stupid, not turfy, a racy ass stupid rant about DEI and racism and racial divide stuff, but he has to frame it in like an ironic, like cheeky way where it's like, okay, so you don't even believe in your own convictions that you spent 2 hours editing together this slop for? Like, what the fuck are you doing here? What's your project, man? Like,
yeah, retards. Why are we doing this?
I could fucking watch William Buckley at least make coherent, like, logical foundations and extrapolate arguments from those. Like, what the shit was Daily Wire doing?
Hunter Biden movie accidentally humanized Hunter Biden.
Yeah, my friend Hunter, like, it's just like, oh, this guy's just a cool guy and a victim of fame, but
having a famous
whom amongst us?
Right.
Also, I don't know if this is what actually happens, but there is an Asian American actor in that movie who I believe this man knows English. It seems like they dubbed in a more racist Asian accent to make him seem like an evil foreign Chinese associate.
Which is why.
Even though the dude's lips, like it seems like a necessary ADR, and that's the only thing I can think of.
It's like suddenly spaghetti western, but with like a racist Asian.
They really wanted. They saw Nick Mullen on Fox News, and they were like, "What's that guy's rate? Let's get him in here."
Man, he would take that money too.
Yeah, they don't know how to write fiction. It's mistaking like fiction as a place to synthesize answers instead of a place to start inquiry.
Yeah.
You know, like fake things, you can't create reality. You can't recreate reality in fiction. Reality's got too many goddamn variables, but like you can start raising some interesting questions about ideas that you can then test in reality through fiction. Because that's something that I've been wondering these last few years as well with the way the reactionary mind ingests stuff, because I just stopped watching Saturday Night Live so long ago. So whenever I hear them talking about like SNL or Disney movies as like these culturally dominant like agenda setting forces, I don't know. Like, I'm in a world where like most of the kids are talking about what anime they're watching, and when I say kids, I'm talking about 24 to 28-year-olds. You know, the younger set of coworkers I have, both in production and service work. Which, again, that's something I think is part of the techno-poverty mindset I want to highlight as well, is in our Lost Mega Man X episode, maybe a bit in one of the MAXIMO episodes, we talked a bit about video games not being hard. You know, everybody's playing video games for recreation. So when you got these, like, CEOs and, like, rich people trying to be like, look, I'm super smart because I'm really good at this game I cheated at. Like, dude, I know.
It's a mass-produced product.
I know fry cooks that spend hours on hours grinding it out as well. Like, you're not doing anything impressive.
No, which is also funny too. Like with going back to the right wing doesn't know how to write fiction, which is funny because they come up with some of the craziest plot lines you have ever heard of.
And then it's usually boring in execution if it is interesting in premise.
Like just any thought they have, like outside of story, like the stories they convince themselves of being real, like that are just perpetuated on the news, like they're creative about coming up with insane ideas. But they can't apply that in a real way, and so that the makeup.
I think it gets across this point too, where they get too mad to remain focused, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think a thing I've noticed consistent throughout a lot of like right-wing works is how much like the back half gets overstuffed, where like suddenly like every issue in the kitchen sink has to be present. Like with Lady Ballers, it's like it's the trans stuff, but then it also gets into like.
I remember they were making a movie, like, fuck, we gotta finish this plot.
Right, yeah.
Like, oh, that's right, this is a movie, they're supposed to make sense.
Matt Walsh does a weird rug pull as, like, playing himself, and it just reminds you, like, oh yeah, like, you don't even really... You just want the texture of, like, having fun. And, like, I get that. Like, everybody should have fun. I think local arts programs need more funding. I think everybody should have their own techno-poverty, you know? Like, I want to see every show Americans have. Like, everybody should have their own, I mean...
Like public access.
Yeah, exactly.
Go and be
People
a part
want to
of
express themselves. There's an article about, like, the January 6ers when they were in jail, and, like, they were doing little skits and had their own podcast, and, like, when they were doing music for the president.
They're having a great time.
Having a great time,
People
yeah.
want to create.
Everybody do community theater.
Get everybody finger paints.
Right, yeah.
Like, bare minimum.
Instead of giving everybody AI that they have to, like, buy credits for to, like, make Ghibli stuff, just everybody get their own little community theater. Everybody get their own little creative hovel.
Yeah, man, it's so much fun doing creative stuff.
I want to see, you know, the Henry Dargers out there. If you don't know who Henry Darger is, he was like, I believe he was a janitor at a hospital. But when he died, it was discovered that he had like a thick tome of like 1,000-page fantasy book called like The Little Children's War.
Damn, something you've just been like chipping away at.
Yeah, it had been. It was like a big long fantasy epic about children in a fantasy land fighting slavers, and like he had a bunch of detailed art that went around with it. Like,
damn, that's cool.
yeah, Henry Darger. Chat, look that up.
Yeah. People should be doing that. You should be coming up with your own silly creative world that you just like get to have fun and be fully creative in. Just don't make it other people's worlds. Don't force it on people.
That's the thing too, is like with the
up.
Ghibli thing, my frustration is, I don't know, this is gonna be gatekeeper as hell, but I think if you're like an anime or animation fan, a real one in any sense, you've probably seen beyond just like Studio Ghibli work and have more than like Ghibli as a reference point for anime. And you don't find that shit as novels. Like, I don't know, a lot of the AI stuff, I just imagine there's like, it's the type of nerd that saw one anime movie and is just like, I'm the anime guy now, this is mine.
I'm Avatar!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know, man, like, people aren't going to be talking about it in like a week. Like, it is really huge right now because, like, you know, I don't know, man, computers can make like things look like other things. Like, I don't know, it's just not exciting. Like, everyone's just like, look, it's this picture, but it's different. Like, okay, cool, but like, is there a reason why we do this? Like, no, just because the computer canon's CEO told me we can do it. You're like, okay.
A lot of like my action figures talk, just.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't care. Like, I want to play with my action figures. Oh, there's bombs and such. cannonballs. Man, you just like fucking swoop through that.
Yeah,
That's probably the smart move.
I don't deal with any of that.
These fairies.
And a Yeti.
God dang Yeti. Every time. Love these Dutch angles in this game. Camera's just wild.
Yeah, in the Unreal engine-fication of everything, I kind of do miss curated camera angles in games. I know they can be bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games, like that was one of the biggest complaints I remember like 2006.
Oh yeah, for sure. People definitely want to get rid of it. But I don't know, man, like Resident Evil was iconic.
Right. Even and Silent Hill.
Yep.
Fixed angles.
Yeah, dude, Cold Fear, but that's one I more recently played with Spin Over game, and that is just great. It's such a cool feeling to it.
There's a game, a survival horror game I never played called, I think it's Blue Stinger is the one I'm thinking of for the Dreamcast. I'm curious to check out both the US and the US and the Japanese versions, because one of them uses fixed camera angles, and then in the US version they just made it a behind-the-shoulder camera.
Oh.
I kind of want to compare and contrast. If it's a short enough game, because it is like a Dreamcast era survival horror, so it may be.
I don't know, maybe a couple hours kind of thing.
And maybe one we do like 2 playthroughs of.
That'd be kind of fun.
It's also why I'm curious about the Silent Hill remake, because I think Silent Hill 2 is kind of, damn, this thing's just eating me. Because I think Silent Hill 2 is kind of like the masterclass game of like dissonant camera as intentional character aspect of the game.
Yeah, oh yeah. God, I love that game too. Also, Centralia, Pennsylvania, crazy place. I'll post pictures in the Discord. I found photos of it the other day.
Centralia Adventure? Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
share those.
It was really fun. I found the highway pictures. Just a fun time.
Does that include that one stairway that like is
Oh,
no more,
no.
or is that a different rune?
Oh yeah, that's up in New Hampshire, Madame Sherry's Castle. It's on the New Hampshire-Vermont border. Like eccentric rich old lady who had this crazy mansion. Super interesting lady, if you can look up Madame Sherry. But she had a house that I think burned down, and the only thing that was left was like the 3-story stone staircase. And it's just like a stone staircase in the middle of the woods. You've probably seen pictures of it online. It's very iconic. But that was really cool. Spooky vibes. Yeah, that's really fun. You have that a lot in El Paso, like, because New England, we had a lot of old decrepit houses, things like that, just like spooky areas. Is there anything like that out there, like old Texas things?
There's some old like. So there was an old like foundry right on the border with like a really old cemetery right by it that had some cool stuff.
Cool.
There's allegedly like a mine shaft in the mountains with treasure in it.
Oh, treasure, you say?
Stuff like tunnels that go to Juarez, which for a while people thought were just like a rumor, but
Yeah, then they found them.
they found some, yeah.
Man, that's like the Jewish tunnels they found in New York. Absolutely very funny. As far as just like things that are just very unbelievable until people are like, oh, they actually did, and you're like, oh wow, I would have never believed that. The truth sometimes is stranger than fiction.
There was like this set of pillars that just had like a quote from Hesiod on it that nobody really knew why it's in the middle of the desert. But I believe they shot Manos the Hands of Fate right around that ruin, and I did go there in college and hang out with some friends. There was also this thing I never found that I was curious about. There's allegedly like a bus just like crashed and caught on fire. And it's just like out in the desert, and it's like kind of sunken, so like you can get in it and go underground.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
it's supposed to be haunted. Never found the location on that one though.
Man, that sounds cool. I like doing urban exploration. That was something that was always fun. Man. We shot a movie in an old jean denim factory in the middle of Texas. That was kind of cool.
Old jean denim factory.
Yeah, and it was huge too. It was like a 2-mile long building or something. Like you could drive a truck inside that thing across. Like it was great. We had actually staged a car accident in it too. That was kind of fun. Urban American Decay, one of my favorite things. Hey dog, would you like to go outside and stop barking?
Where am I going? Oh.
No? You reconsidering? Oh. Wanna go outside? Go say hello? Alright. Go and get. Throw that. Get on out, yeah! Woo! We love it.
And I have over 1,000 coins. Nice.
Nice, excellent.
And we're at the end of the level. There's a Yeti. Oh boy.
This fucking Yeti.
There we go. If you hit them right, they fall forward instead.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so they can't do the or whatever. That was the thing you were saying with like him stabbing you whenever they were going in a different direction. Spank them. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it from the back. I love how that thing freezes. Like embarrassment covered the crop and then
And we just cleared a level. There was a key right there. I just totally didn't grab. Oh well.
You know, you're just too cool for it.